Listen up, I know you've been there. You've been waiting, wondering, why hasn't he reached out? You feel the desperation, you feel the pull, that deep longing inside him. You're asking yourself, why isn't he contacting me? Doesn't he want me as much as I want him? But here's the hard truth. My friend, it's not about desire, it's about clarity. And right now, you're in a place where you need to understand why he's not making that move, even though his heart is aching to. This moment right here is going to open your eyes. It's going to reveal to you what's really going on and how you can regain your power. Are you ready to take control of the situation? Let's dive in. There's a profound difference between wanting something and actually acting on it. Wanting is a feeling, a desire, a wish that resides in the mind, often fueled by fantasies or dreams. It's passive, sitting in your heart or your thoughts as a yearning. Acting, however, is where the magic happens. Acting is the translation of that inner desire into real, tangible efforts that create change in the external world. You can want something deeply, but if you're not taking action, it's just a wish that may never come true. Many people live in a constant state of wanting. They desire a better relationship, a successful career, or a fulfilling life, but they never take the necessary steps to bring those desires into reality. The difference is in the mindset. Wanting keeps you in a space of waiting, hoping that something will change on its own. Acting is about taking control, making conscious decisions to push yourself out of your comfort zone and doing things that lead you toward your goal, regardless of the obstacles or fears in the way. You see, the world doesn't respond to mere wishes. It responds to commitment, to action, to people who are brave enough to step forward and put in the work. Wanting something without acting is like planting seeds but never watering them. It's a cycle of dissatisfaction that keeps you stuck in a state of longing. But when you choose to act, when you decide to make those moves, to face the challenges head on and to back your desires with effort, that's when you truly begin to see results. Fear of rejection is one of the most powerful forces that hold people back from taking action, especially in relationships. It creates a barrier that paralyzes individuals, preventing them from expressing their true feelings or making the first move. Rejection, in this sense, is not just about the end of a potential connection. It's perceived as a personal failure, a blow to self-worth, and a confirmation of the worst fears. People often let this fear dominate their decisions, choosing to stay silent or distant rather than face the discomfort of possible rejection. The emotional weight of rejection can be overwhelming. It's not simply about being told no or I'm not interested. It's about the vulnerability that rejection exposes. When you put yourself out there, you open up a part of yourself, and the risk of having that part dismissed can feel like an attack on your identity. As a result, many people choose the safer route, staying quiet, staying invisible, and avoiding the chance to be hurt. However, this fear of rejection isn't always based on reality. Many times, people project their worst-case scenarios onto situations that haven't even unfolded yet. They assume the worst about how someone will react, imagining rejection before they even have the chance to make their move. This constant worry becomes a cycle, and the more they fear it, the more it controls their actions, creating an endless loop of missed opportunities. In relationships, this fear can leave you stagnant. It keeps you in a place where your desires remain unspoken and your potential connections are never explored. The longer you allow the fear to control you, the more it prevents you from living authentically and pursuing what you truly want. Emotional manipulation is a tactic often used in relationships to control, influence, or sway someone's feelings and decisions for personal gain. It can be subtle or overt, but in all cases, the goal is to gain power or leverage over the other person, often without their awareness. People who engage in emotional manipulation exploit vulnerabilities, using tactics like guilt tripping, playing on insecurities, or creating feelings of obligation to get what they want. They may create scenarios that make you feel responsible for their emotional well-being, even though it's not your duty to fix or manage their emotions. One of the most common forms of emotional manipulation is gaslighting. This occurs when someone manipulates you into questioning your reality or self-worth, making you doubt your own perceptions, memories, or feelings. They may twist the truth or deny past events to confuse you and keep you off balance. Over time, this can lead you to become overly dependent on the manipulator, losing touch with your own sense of judgment and emotional stability. Another form of manipulation is the silent treatment or emotional withdrawal. The manipulator may use silence as a punishment, forcing you to feel the weight of their disapproval or to earn back their affection. By withdrawing emotionally, they create a sense of uncertainty and fear, leading you to chase their approval or affection. Emotional manipulation can leave a person feeling trapped, questioning their own needs, and struggling to maintain healthy boundaries. It chips away at self-esteem and can distort one's understanding of healthy, balanced relationships. It's a dangerous cycle that can be hard to break free from, especially when the manipulator is skilled at making their behavior seem justified or even loving. Lack of clarity is one of the primary reasons people struggle with making decisions and taking meaningful action in their lives. When you're unclear about what you want, what your goals are, or what you truly need, it creates confusion that leads to inaction. You might feel stuck or overwhelmed, unsure of where to begin or how to move forward. Without clarity, every decision feels like a gamble. And the fear of making the wrong choice keeps you paralyzed. It's like trying to drive a car with a foggy windshield. You might be able to move, but you're not sure where you're going, and it feels dangerous. In relationships, a lack of clarity can cause significant issues. When you're unsure of your own feelings or what you want from a partner, you leave yourself open to misinterpretation or manipulation. You may send mixed signals, unintentionally creating distance or confusion. Similarly, if someone else isn't clear about their intentions, it can leave you questioning their actions and words, unsure of where you stand. This ambiguity leads to frustration, unmet expectations, and a lack of trust. Clarity doesn't just come from thinking or hoping for it, it comes from actively seeking it, asking the right questions, and reflecting on your desires and goals. You need to carve out time to really get to the heart of what matters to you, what you're willing to compromise on, and what you're unwilling to settle for. Without this level of understanding, you're left drifting aimlessly, responding to life's challenges without a strong sense of direction or purpose. When you gain clarity, everything changes, decisions become easier, actions more purposeful, and your path clearer. It provides the focus and confidence needed to move forward, free from the doubt and fear that uncertainty brings. Personal insecurity often stands in the way of recognizing and acting on genuine interest, both in ourselves and in others. Insecurities arise from a lack of self-worth, a fear of not measuring up, or the belief that we are unworthy of love, attention, or success. When you're insecure, it distorts how you see yourself and how you believe others see you. Instead of focusing on your strengths, you become consumed by your perceived flaws, making it difficult to connect with others authentically. This can lead to hesitation in pursuing what you truly want as you constantly question your own value. When someone shows interest in you, insecurity can make you doubt their intentions. You may question whether they really like you or if they're just being polite, even when their actions suggest otherwise. You might hold back from fully engaging with them, afraid that your vulnerabilities will push them away. This cycle of self-doubt can lead to missed opportunities for connection and growth. Instead of embracing the potential for a deep, meaningful relationship, you focus on what you think is wrong with you, assuming that any positive attention is undeserved. In the context of romantic or personal relationships, insecurity can prevent you from opening up, from being present, and from allowing yourself to truly experience the connection that's possible. It keeps you stuck in a place of fear and self-protection, denying both yourself and the other person the opportunity to grow together. Overcoming insecurity requires developing a strong sense of self-love and self-acceptance, understanding that you are enough as you are. Only then can you recognize genuine interest for what it is, without the filter of self-doubt clouding your perception. The power of playing hard to get is often misunderstood. It's not about games or manipulation, it's about creating space for respect, desire, and self-worth to thrive. When someone becomes overly available or eager to please, they inadvertently diminish their own value in the eyes of the other person. Playing hard to get, when done authentically, is about maintaining a sense of mystery and independence. It signals that you have your own life, your own passions, and that your time is valuable. In relationships, when you're too readily available or constantly chasing someone, you risk appearing desperate or lacking in self-respect. The act of playing hard to get isn't about ignoring or avoiding the other person, but about keeping a healthy emotional distance that allows both parties to appreciate each other more. It allows desire to build, creating anticipation and attraction. It forces the other person to earn your attention, respect, and affection, and ensures that the relationship is built on mutual interest and effort rather than dependency or convenience. The key is to strike the right balance. You don't want to play games with people's emotions, but you also don't want to be so easily accessible that your worth is undervalued. Playing hard to get is a reflection of self-respect and the understanding that you're not desperate for attention. You know your own value, and you're not afraid to stand your ground and let the other person prove that they're truly interested in you. It's about making your presence felt without being overbearing, allowing space for the other person to come to you with genuine intentions. Unspoken expectations in relationships create a breeding ground for misunderstanding, frustration, and unmet needs. When we don't clearly communicate what we expect from others or what we need in a relationship, we set ourselves up for disappointment. We often assume that the other person should know what we want or feel, but they can't read our minds. These unspoken expectations lead to confusion, as one person might be giving or acting in ways they think are fulfilling the other's needs, while the other person feels neglected or misunderstood. In romantic relationships, for instance, one partner might expect regular acts of affection or attention, but they never verbalize these needs. Instead, they wait for the other person to intuitively understand. This passive approach creates a cycle of frustration. When the expectations are not met, resentment builds. The person who had the unspoken expectation might feel hurt, thinking, if you really cared, you'd know what I wanted. But in reality, they were never clear about their desires or needs in the first place. The same issue can arise in friendships, family relationships, and even in the workplace. Expectations that aren't voiced remain in the shadows, and when they're unmet, the relationship suffers. To build strong, healthy relationships, it's crucial to communicate openly about what you need, want, and value. This creates understanding and sets clear boundaries, so no one is left guessing or assuming. When both parties can clearly articulate their expectations and negotiate them together, it strengthens the bond and ensures that both feel heard and valued. Trusting actions over words is one of the most important principles in building meaningful, lasting relationships. Words are easy, anyone can say the right thing at the right moment, but actions reveal the true intentions, character, and commitment of a person. In many cases, people say one thing and do another, often leading to disappointment and confusion. It's easy to promise change, affection, or loyalty, but it's through actions that these promises are either fulfilled or broken. When someone consistently demonstrates their commitment through actions, it creates a solid foundation of trust. For example, a partner who says they love you but rarely makes an effort to spend time with you or show care is sending a mixed message. Their words may sound sweet, but their actions fail to align with them. Over time, this inconsistency erodes trust and creates doubt in the relationship. On the other hand, someone who may not express their feelings as openly but shows up when it counts through support, effort, or sacrifice demonstrates a deeper, more reliable form of care. Trust is built by observing how someone behaves over time, especially during challenges or moments of stress. Actions reveal whether someone is reliable, dependable, and truly invested. Words can be misleading, but when someone backs up their words with meaningful action, you can be sure that their intentions are genuine. Trusting actions over words requires a level of discernment, but it's essential for forming healthy, transparent relationships. Words can be fleeting, but actions create lasting proof of a person's true character and commitment. Self-worth is the foundation of healthy relationships and personal fulfillment. When you don't recognize or value your own worth, you're more likely to settle for less than you deserve, whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or even in the workplace. People who struggle with low self-worth often allow others to treat them poorly, thinking they don't deserve better or that they're not worthy of respect, love, or success. This mindset leads to accepting behavior or situations that are toxic, unsatisfactory, or even harmful, simply because you believe it's all you deserve. Having a strong sense of self-worth means understanding that you are valuable not because of what you do or how others treat you, but simply because you exist. You deserve respect, kindness, and love just as much as anyone else. When you recognize your own worth, you stop tolerating disrespect, manipulation, or unhealthy dynamics. You begin to set boundaries, communicate your needs, and prioritize your own well-being. This shift allows you to make decisions that align with your values and goals rather than out of fear of rejection or a need for validation from others. Self-worth empowers you to walk away from situations that don't serve you, even if it's hard. It helps you trust your instincts and make choices that lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. People with a strong sense of self-worth attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships because they refuse to settle for less than they deserve. When you know your value, you stop seeking external approval and start creating the life that reflects your true worth. Emotional boundaries are essential for maintaining mental and emotional well-being in any relationship. Without them, it's easy to become overwhelmed, drained, or manipulated by the emotions and demands of others. Boundaries are the invisible lines we set to protect ourselves from being exploited, overwhelmed, or controlled by other people's emotional states or behaviors. They define where your responsibility ends and someone else's begins. Without these boundaries, you may find yourself constantly trying to manage or fix others' emotions, leaving little room to take care of your own needs. Healthy emotional boundaries allow you to engage in relationships without losing yourself. They ensure that you can support others without sacrificing your own emotional health. For example, when someone consistently relies on you for emotional support but never reciprocates, or when they demand your time and energy without consideration for your needs, that's a sign that your emotional boundaries need to be reinforced. Setting limits doesn't mean shutting others out. It means making it clear that while you care for them, you will not allow their emotional needs to overwhelm or control you. Emotional boundaries also help prevent codependency, a situation where one person's emotions are so tightly bound to the others that both individuals lose their sense of independence. In such relationships, one person may constantly seek validation or approval from the other, while the other may feel responsible for fixing or managing the first person's emotions. This creates an unhealthy dynamic where both parties are unable to grow individually. By setting and maintaining emotional boundaries, you protect your mental health, build stronger, more balanced relationships, and ensure that you're able to give and receive support in a healthy way. It's about respecting both your own emotional needs and those of others. In conclusion, understanding the dynamics of why someone may not reach out, even when they seem desperate for your presence, comes down to recognizing the deeper forces at play. It's about recognizing the difference between wanting and acting, understanding how fear of rejection and emotional manipulation influence decisions, and addressing the lack of clarity or insecurity that holds us back. Relationships thrive when there's clear communication, respect for boundaries, and the understanding that actions speak louder than words. The key to navigating any relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or even yourself, lies in knowing your own worth and setting healthy emotional boundaries. When you value yourself and take action based on your needs and desires, you attract relationships that reflect the same level of respect and commitment. By trusting actions over words, playing hard to get in a way that honors your independence, and addressing unspoken expectations, you create the space for a deeper connection, one that's rooted in mutual understanding and genuine effort. Don't let fear, uncertainty, or insecurity dictate the course of your relationships. Take the power back by being clear about what you need, acting on what you truly desire, and trusting in your own value. Only then can you create the healthy, fulfilling relationships you deserve and move forward with confidence, knowing that you are worthy of everything you've been longing for.